Once, in a small village kissed by golden sands and gentle rivers, there lived a humble family in a tiny clay house at the edge of the town. The father, Amir, was a hard-working man who spent his days tending the fields under the scorching sun, while his wife, Amina, lovingly cared for their 3 daughters, Layla, the eldest, gentle and wise beyond her years, Noor, the middle child, playful but deeply sensitive, and little Hannah, whose laughter could light up even the darkest room. Though poor, their hearts were rich with love, laughter, and hope. It was the month of Ramadan, a month that was sacred and magical. The air shimmered with the promise of blessings, forgiveness, and miracles. Each evening, as the call to Maghrib prayer echoed through the village, the family gathered to break their fast, sharing dates, bread, and the small portions of stew that Amina carefully prepared. Yet this Ramadan, unlike any other, seemed shadowed by a quiet sorrow that no one could name. Amir had fallen ill just a week before Ramadan began. His cough rattled his chest, and though he smiled at his daughters, the effort to walk, to tend the animals, or even to sit under the date palms for prayers left him exhausted. The once lively house now hummed with quiet fear. The daughters, though young, felt the weight of their father's suffering. Layla stayed up late each night, whispering supplications under her breath, praying for his healing. Noor, unable to contain her tears, would clutch her father's hand and softly hum the songs of their childhood. Hannah, though she did not fully understand sickness, sensed the sadness, and she tried to chase it away with her endless laughter, though even that seemed dimmer than before. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with shades of rose and amber, Amina lit the old lantern that had been passed down from her grandmother. It was said that the lantern carried a whisper of magic, a spark of hope that could light the path through even the darkest trials. The glass was cracked, and the metal was tarnished, but as its flame flickered, a warm golden glow spread across the walls. "Tonight, my daughters," Amina said softly, "we will pray for miracles. We will ask Allah to heal your father, to protect our family, and to bless our hearts with patience and faith." The girls knelt beside their mother. Layla's eyes glistened with tears, Noor's small hands trembled, and Hannah's voice was barely a whisper. They closed their eyes, and the little lantern seemed to tremble too, as if it heard their prayers and wanted to answer them. That night, a gentle wind stirred outside, carrying with it the scent of jasmine and something else, something magical. Amir, who had been too weak to sleep, felt a strange warmth spread through his body. The ache in his chest softened, and a quiet peace settled in his mind. He opened his eyes to see the lantern glowing brighter than ever, as if it held a tiny sun within. The next morning, the village awoke to a miracle. Amir could stand without effort. His cough was lighter, and his steps were steadier. The daughters hugged him tightly, their tears a mixture of joy and disbelief. "The lantern," Hannah whispered. It worked. But the magic of Ramadan was only beginning. One night, as the family sat beneath the stars, the daughters noticed a faint figure walking toward their home. She was a woman, cloaked in robes of silver that shimmered like moonlight on water, and her eyes glowed with the soft light of the heavens. She carried a small, glowing box. "I am Layali," the woman said, her voice like a melody of wind chimes. "I am a guardian of the blessings of Ramadan. I have heard your prayers, little hearts. The lantern's light has called me here." The girls could barely breathe. "Why are you here?" Layla asked, her voice trembling. "To remind you," Layali said, placing the box on the table, "that even in sorrow, there is hope. Even in tears, there is mercy. Inside this box is a gift, but it can only be opened if all of you show courage, kindness, and love for each other." Noor leaned forward. "What kind of gift?" Layali smiled. "It is a treasure that will heal not just the body, but the heart. But beware, the path is not easy. You must face your fears, forgive old hurts, and help someone who is in true need. Only then will the gift reveal itself." The family was silent for a long time, contemplating what Layali had said. Amir looked at his daughters, pride and hope shimmering in his eyes. "This Ramadan," he whispered, "will be our test and our blessing. We must do everything we can to prove our love and faith." In the days that followed, the daughters began noticing the needs of the villagers around them. Layla, wise and patient, helped an elderly neighbor gather firewood, though she was small and the task was heavy. Noor, who often cried at the sight of suffering, comforted a mother whose child had fallen ill. And little Hannah, who had the purest heart of all, gave her own food to a stray dog that had been wandering hungry through the village. Each act of kindness made the lantern glow brighter. The golden light seemed to wrap around the family, binding them together in a warmth that no sickness or sorrow could touch. But one evening, a fierce storm approached the village. The wind howled, and the river swelled with anger. The small clay house trembled, and the daughters clung to their parents in fear. Layali appeared once more, her silver robes fluttering like waves. "This is your final test," she said. "The STO. Storm will not harm you if you act with courage and love. You must protect not only your family but those who cannot protect themselves." Amir, still recovering but strong at heart, stood before the door. "We will face this together," he said. Amina gathered the girls. "Remember, fear is only powerful when you let it be. Our love and faith will guide us." With the storm raging around them, the family ventured outside. They rescued a family trapped in their home across the river, helped animals stranded in the rising waters, and comforted neighbors whose houses had been damaged. Throughout it all, the lantern glowed like a beacon, lighting the darkness and guiding them to safety. When dawn broke, the storm had passed. The village was battered but alive. The family returned home, drenched and exhausted, but filled with a sense of triumph. The glowing box had opened on its own, revealing a single crystal. A drop of pure light. Layali appeared for the last time. "This crystal," she said, "contains the blessings of your courage, faith, and compassion. It will heal hearts, protect your family, and remind you of the power of love." The daughters held the crystal together. Its warmth spread through their bodies, filling them with peace. Amir's health was fully restored, Amina's heart felt lighter than ever, and the girls felt a joy that could not be described. As Ramadan continued, the family shared their story with the village. The magic of kindness, courage, and faith inspired everyone. And every night, as the lantern flickered with golden light, the family remembered Layali's words, that the true miracles of Ramadan are found in love, compassion, and the courage to face life's storms together. And so, the little clay house at the edge of the village, once shadowed by fear and illness, became a beacon of hope. The family thrived, not because of wealth or possessions, but because they had discovered the eternal magic that lives in every act of kindness, every whispered prayer, and every tear that falls for love. Even years later, long after the daughters had grown and the village had changed, the lantern continued to glow each Ramadan. And the story of Amir, Amina, Layla, Noor, and Hannah became a tale whispered in every home, a tale of tears, trials, and the miraculous power of faith, love, and compassion during the holy month of Ramadan.